All right, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do an animation here. So we are going to jump into our program that we're using, which is Adobe Animate here. And I've already made a file here, and I went to File and I went to New here. And in that file, we're going to make this 19 by 20 by 1080. We're going to use 12 frames per second because we're going to do hand-drawn frames here. So that's what I did. I created that. I've already got it open here. So you would hit create and you would come here. Now you've got your navigation bar here. You can say fit in window. You can see your whole frame. I'm going to zoom in here to about 200% here, and I'm going to start drawing an animation. Okay, now I'm going to animate. I want to make a flower here, just like in our video example here. So I am going to get my brush tool. I've set my size. My size is about 16. My color I'm using is a just straight black here, and I have not changed really anything else on it here, and I've got the smoothing is turned all the way up by default. Okay, now that is going to kind of take some of the jagged edges out of your drawing a little bit. You still have Command Z, so if you make a mistake, you can redraw it. Okay, so we're going to start by just going, and I'm going to make a circle here. This circle is going to be just like that. Okay, so there is my circle. Okay, now I'm going to hit F7 because I want to make a new frame here. So I'm going to hit F7 on my keyboard. And you'll see that now I have a blank frame here. Okay, so there's my frame. So I need to redraw that. So if I just go and redraw it, I could try to draw it there without seeing my previous frame there is difficult. So I have onion skinning, and I can turn on onion skinning. So I can draw my new frame here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw my new frame like that. Okay, if I didn't get quite right or what, I can also trace my previous one. It is lighter in color because it is the onion skin, the previous frame. Okay, and then I can get V, my move tool up here, and I can select this and I can move it over. And then I will hit F7 again, and I will make another new frame. I'll hit B to get my brush tool again, and I'm just gonna go and start animating away here. So every time I make a new frame here, I'm going to hit V, I'm gonna select my circle, I'm gonna move it over, I'll hit F7 again, make another new frame, hit B to get my brush tool, and you can see my animation is moving along here. I'm going to get over here, and I'm going to hit B again, and I'm just going to make my circle. Okay, now onion skinning, right here it shows how far. If I want to see more of those frames, I can see more of those frames, and the further back they are, the lighter they are. So that's pretty helpful here. So I'm going to just keep going here, and I'm going to swing my circle over here, then I'm going to swing it back once I get to the other side. So then I'm going to keep plowing along here, brush, V, select, move it over. That seems far enough. Okay, and I'm going to do F7 again, and I'm going to get my brush again, and I'm going to start swinging my circle back the other way. And F7, brush. Hi Maria, how are you doing?
I'm good. Can I use your microwave?
Of course you may use my microwave. So I'm going to just keep going along here. Like I said, you can trace it, you can move it, you can freestyle it. I'm going to kind of freestyle here just to keep moving along here. And F7, I'm going to do one more up here. Like I said. Now again, if you want to see more of your drawings, you can open up that little drag here and drag out so you can see more of your items, okay? I'm going to do one more frame here because I want to end up right where I started. So when I loop this, I kind of end up right in the same spot. Now I can go and I can grab the head on my player and drag it back and forth, and I can see my animation in action here. I went out to 15 frames here where I've drawn this. This is kind of one cycle here, okay? I can also play that cycle by hitting my play button here, and it's going to play that, okay? I can loop it by clicking play, and it's going to loop. Now, by default, it's set to just do a couple, so it's kind of doing this like shaky thing here, but just like your onion skin, you can drag that out so you can see it, and it'll loop a little bit wider that way. Okay, so there we got our animation. Okay, now I'm going to get my hand tool here, and I'm going to zoom here a little bit. Let me stop my animation. And now let's fill this with some color. Okay, so we're going to make this into a flower. It's a dancing flower here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I'm going to get my zoom here, hold down Option, zoom out just a little. I'm going to get, now I want to add leaves and a stem to this. Okay. So when I do that, I am going to go ahead and make a new layer because I want these all to be on their own separate layers. So I'm going to do a new layer here, and I'm going to actually put leaves just to keep myself from getting confused. Bang, bang. I'm going to get my brush, and I want this to be right in the middle here, so I'm going to draw kind of a couple teardrop shaped leaves here. Like so. There's my leaves. Okay? So now that's going to be independent. Now I drew that right here in the center of it, so it's in the wrong frame. I want that to start at the beginning, so in case you do that, you can just grab a frame, you can drag it where you want. By default, it's going to fill these up with blank keyframes unless I put something else in there. So when I play this, this is going to give me my animation like that. And my leaves won't move, and now my flower head is moving up on its own independent layer. Okay, so I'm going to move back to the top here. Okay, and I want to make another one. I'm going to make another layer for the stem. So I'm going to make another layer for the stem. Okay, so on my stem here, I'm going to go ahead and get my brush tool again, and I'm just going to draw. And I kind of want this to wiggle a little bit and have a little bit of a bend and stretch, a little squash and stretch to it as it goes and moves back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to leave my onion skin on for right now. I'm on this first frame, and this one I'm going to call, this is going to be my stem. Get my brush, and I'm just going to draw this down to the center of my flower. Okay, now I'm going to move ahead by hitting the period and the comma. You can skip head frames and back. So I'm going to skip ahead to the next frame, and I'm going to do again. Oop, Command Z, Command Z. I apologize. I need to draw my first frame, and I want to hit F7 because I need to add a new blank keyframe like that. So I'll say F7, and I'm going to keep going ahead. I'm recording a video here, if you bear with me, like this. And I'm just going to keep going forward in my frames, drawing my stem so that my flower will appear like it's dancing here. So when I get all the way to the end and I turn off my onion skin, I should be able to hit play, and my flower will dance just like that, Bree. Isn't that nice?
It's beautiful.
Okay, super. We're going to stop right there, and we will pick up on our next lesson next.